Hey guys, it's Sam. I wanted to kind of start paring down and cleaning out my planner, and I thought I could do that with you guys and do kind of a planner chat. So if you're interested in that, please stay tuned. If you saw my unboxing, which I think was yesterday, depending on when you're watching this, I think I did the unboxing of this Gillio yesterday. It's the gold Leisha, I think. Hold on. I think it's called the gold Leisha. Gosh, I don't know where I left the note somewhere. And nope. Well, okay. I think that's what it's called. It is a limited Leisha Gold. Okay, Toscana Leisha Gold. And this is a limited, I believe, leather from Gillio. And the only difference that this has from the regular Toscana Gold is that this has been treated in a way that it does not have pebbles. And I thought that that was really cool. Even though I'm a texture person by nature, I always ask for texture and all of that. I don't know. I think I lost my mind. You guys are gonna you're gonna have to help talk me off the ledge because yesterday it got this mark on it and it was in my bag mostly. And so I've brought out this planner pouch, which I think this is from someone who doesn't have a shop anymore. But then I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna have to rethink my bag situation and all of that. I think that this just got like rubbed in my lion's leather queen bee, and so now I'm like completely freaking out about it, which is ridiculous. And that is one of the reasons why I've never held on to Gillios, but help me, guys. I'm like, what was I thinking? Because this smooth leather is going to show all the marks, and a pebbled leather at least kind of helps disguise that. And they did have the regular gold, but I don't know. I lost my mind and I went for that. I will compare. This is the gold compared to the Moterm. I think that this is like a darker honey. If not, it's not a chestnut. I think that this is the honey. And this one has a mark here, and it's got a mark here, and all of this. And I don't dislike the Moterm leathers. I don't really care for this whole situation here. But I'm not really a huge deco person. I don't mind the layout. I prefer the pen loop up here as opposed to the Gillios being here. And it has a nice wide pen loop. And so you might say, well, then if this costs so much less and you like it, why did you spend the money on a Gillio? And one of the reasons is because the Moterms, they just like sit up like this. The way the back pocket is configured, it just will not lay nice and flat like a Gillio will. And it has, I think it's a better quality leather that you can get from Gillio. And then the Moterm rings are not very good quality. Honestly, they feel worse than Filofax, but they usually have better alignment than Filofax. But, you know, sometimes I just kind of think, well, I'd really like to have a nice quality leather planner cover that has like all the bells and whistles. I absolutely love my one from Sojourner. But this has the back pocket, and this has the card slots, and this has all of the pockets here and there and everywhere. And I guess my thing that bothers me so much all the time is if I'm going to invest this much in, you know, a higher end product, I feel like I need to carry it every day, but then I start carrying it every day and it starts to get like imperfections on it, and then I like freak out that I'm ruining it. I do like that this one, oh, see, I have a mark back here too. I do like that this one, you can see some of the veins and variations, even though it's smooth, it still has the character to it. And then of course there was this is a limited thing. So I was like, yes, let's just get it. So help me. Tell me that this is going to be okay, because it's going to show wear and it doesn't need to be perfect. I used to have that Apple Guard spray, which I don't know if it's recommended to spray on here or not, but I think I used it all on something else. Anyway, so my planner has 25 millimeter rings, and I haven't been taking any of my inserts out, and it's been getting a little chunky. Oh, and the other thing that I really like about Moterms better is they have a more functional flyleaf. And at the very least, I wish that Julia would make it leather on both sides, because this always attracts stuff and it drives me nuts. But it feels nice, it smells nice, the rings are nice. I use my PayPal account. I'll be paying for this for 6 months because that's a lot of money to invest. So that would be my like pro tip. If you don't have that much money laying around, you can pay 0 interest for 6 months to get your dream planner, and then force yourself to use it. Gosh, it's fine. It's fine. Just tell me in the comments. It's going to be okay. So I don't think I have anything. Well, this could come out, I guess, but I hesitate to take something like this out because it's still convenient for a really quick jot of notes. So I think I'll leave those in there because they're not used up. I'm not going to be taking anything out of my monthly, but I do have quite a bit of weeklies kind of in here that don't need to be. I generally try to keep just like a couple weeks before and a couple weeks ahead, but I've let it get out of control. I was thinking about moving. See, this is the other thing too. I just don't do a lot of deco. Now that's going to cover up the Gilio, and that won't fit very well. I wonder if it would go here-ish, maybe. Okay, we'll do that for now. I'll take off the paper clip and put it in my drawer. All right, is it hot? Is it hot where you guys are? I am in Northeast Ohio, and it is positively scorchy out there today. And I have to finish pressure washing. I got burned yesterday, and I already have my sunscreen on, hoping to not further that today. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my Sojourner, and I'm going to take out what I don't need, which I think I'll take out everything except for June. So this doesn't seem like a lot, but if you don't enjoy a bulky, chunked up planner, I love to see flip throughs of people who have big, chunky planners, but I just don't like to carry them myself. So I'm going to go ahead and keep June in here, and then I'm just through the very beginning of July. I could add a little bit more on to that, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to enjoy the less bulk. And then I have a whole bunch of dailies in here for like the same time period. And it's one of those things where I don't need this. I do kind of like, I don't know, when you're bored waiting somewhere, I like flipping through this stuff. I'm going to keep this because I'm hoping to remember to come in and use this as kind of a dump section. So move that. And then, so I like to put these notes in my planner for like health stuff that I'm listening to on podcasts, stick them on sticky notes. And the point is so that it eventually makes it into a page in my health tracker. I recently added, this is from the Ghosting Pen, the mood tracker, but I'm telling you, I don't think this is going to stay. It's a good idea in theory, but I think that to make a little dot, I don't need as much room, and then I don't have small handwriting, and it doesn't give me enough space to like write a memory. So I have pulled back out my pocket moleskin, which I had been using up until like April, and then I lost my mind. I went to go update in the Hobonichi Weeks, which I haven't touched in about a month, which used to be like my memory keeper / planner sometimes, and I just wasn't feeling pulled in any way to use it. I'm just so over the pen situation, but the moleskin is great. I'm going to go back to using that as a little snippet of my day at the end of the day because I do like that. It's a small, you know, there's not a lot of commitment or anything like that. And then I'm going to start thinking about what is going to be my answer going forward. Is it the traveler's notebook? That would be great for journaling, but I don't like the idea of a bunch of little tiny books that, you know, are only so many pages. I do like the idea of everything like in 1 year. So I think the pocket moleskin would be good. The large moleskin would also be good, but then I don't know. Sometimes I get overwhelmed by the space, but I so far have not felt like journaling in rings. That to me seems more like, I don't know, just a bound book system. So this I don't think I'm going to be using to its potential, so I'm gonna actually just get rid of this. And then I have a few more health things in here. This is where I track my workouts, which this is caught up. Yeah, because I was power washing and didn't make it to the gym or do a home workout. I didn't end up even walking, even though I was outside and being physical. So no workout yesterday. I'm hoping to remedy that today. But this is from the dated bundle from Peanuts Planner Co. And I really like this insert. So that's definitely staying. The next insert is the Filofax insert. This gives a little bit more detail, and this is where I'm doing health tracking with more like symptoms and stuff, which is more detailed than my period tracker, which is next. And then I'm also using this section for notes about fitness and such, which I'm going to be taking some of these pages out because I'm not fasting anymore and I don't plan to fast anymore. So I'm going to also be discarding this page. And then this is more of a keto note, which I'm not doing keto anymore, nor do I plan to be. I want to be more balanced, less strict, less these rules, these rules, these rules. I'm tired of taking things away other than unhealthy things. So I'm trying to get back to a more balanced way of eating. So I'm going to be taking anything out that has anything to do with that. Then these are some notes from my doctor about perimenopause, what to look for, notes about visits, which I like to have with me, which I actually need to add on to because this is going to be, I need to put another like grid insert for an upcoming visit that I have for my yearly stuff. So I'm gonna, let's see, I had put another one of these here. I haven't written on this. I guess if I change my mind, it wouldn't be horrible to have this here. I'll just put it off to the side. Okay. And then my next section is tracking, which I've not been doing the best about. Oh, we did just buy a water filter for our refrigerator. And it's June. Other things have been done, but I'm not going to try to think about them here with you guys. All right. So I said, look, I'm doing great. This was supposed to be for like household expenses, and I've not been tracking that. I have been trying ish to keep up with like expenses that relate to stationery, but I haven't been perfect. A watch list for TV series and a watch list for movies. So those are going to stay. My bookshelf. I've definitely been getting more audiobooks in than regular books, just because I can sit and listen to them while I work, which is great. Some blank pages of that. Gosh, let me see if my, I think it's in the other room. I keep not updating this. I didn't use it for 2024, so I want to use it for 2025. And this, I think, is in the kitchen with my journaling supplies, which is not going to help me. I'm going to try to have this done by the next time I come back to see you guys. All right, so I don't know why I have kept this menu in here. It's not a full menu. I don't know. I've just kept it in my planner. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out and this out. I need to remember. I don't know that I have any more of these printed. Sometimes I keep pages in reserve, but I don't have this. Oh, here's some dailies that I've just kind of stacked that could definitely go here in my Sojourner. So I had told you guys that I had kind of not the best experience with this Gillio purchase, and I wanted to give you guys a heads up about what happened, so hopefully it doesn't happen to you. So I have purchased from Gillio before, but it's not like I go there all the time because, again, it's expensive and I have a difficult time making the decision to spend that much money. So I have my saved account with Gillio, and all of my information has stayed the same. I haven't moved or anything like that. And so I went online to make purchase. I had this planner in my cart, and when I went through the checkout, these are things that need to get added to the notes section. So I went to go through the checkout. I don't need this note anymore. These are things that I'm trying to sell. I need to add to this. I'll deal with this later. This needs to be put on an insert somewhere. So I'm trying to go through my cart, and I have my address the way it has been listed for years now, and there was a box off to the side that was like, when I hit next to go to payment, it was flagging red, would not let me move on. My address was correct, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I kept trying to like, what the heck is this? I don't understand. This has worked all these years. And I reached out to somebody, and I showed them the screen, and I was like, what is happening? And he was like, well, in Belgium, it's the street and then the number for your address. So you should put your street and then your number. And I was like, oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. And I wondered that, but I'm like, that's not how my address works. And then I also had thought to put like a dash or an asterisk, just something there. But then my like rule follower me is like, but you don't have an asterisk or a dash in your address either. So I didn't want to do the wrong thing. And I had also put a ticket in to Gillio, but it was over the weekend, and so they were not there. So I wake up Monday. So I go ahead and I do what I had been suggested to do. By an individual, and I put my address and then the number, and I place the order. And then my thought was that they would know that that's how they were asking for it, and that they knew obviously which country you were in because you have to list that, and they would put it the right way once they got your order ready. And so in the meantime, I think I ordered it on Sunday. And so Monday morning, I wake up and I look at my phone before I go to work. I know you're not supposed to. That shouldn't be the first thing you do, but I do. And I had an email from Gillio, and they were like, hey, you should maybe just put an asterisk or something in there. And I'm like, okay. And then at the same time, I had your order has shipped. I didn't do the B post. Like, no, I didn't do the buzz shipping. I did a step up to get the DHL, but I didn't do the fast, but it shipped fast anyway. And so I was like, well, I already placed my order, and this is how I did it because your system was requiring it. And then I looked at their like B post, and it had the number after, and I was like, oh no, here I have spent all of this money and it's not even going to make it to me because this isn't a correct address. Costco, Trader Joe's, Healthy Swaps, Planner Shops, which I need to grab. I have somewhere a planner shop notes. Maybe it's in my dailies. Yes. Here we go. I'm just going to stick this here so I can write it down, and then I don't need this list anymore. So I started freaking out, and I was like, well, fix it. And they were like, sorry, we can't fix it. And I was just like, what do you mean you can't fix it? And then I had to like drag out of them with a couple emails that it was gone. It had left their hands. And it's a cautionary tale because don't do that. I don't know why. And then I sent another email and I was like, okay, well, if you can't fix it for me, just know that your website is doing this and it's making people put their address in incorrectly. You shouldn't have a box that is required if a country doesn't require that box. And maybe somebody doesn't want to put an asterisk or something incorrect to complete their address. So I was just like, hey, heads up. And I wasn't mean or anything. I was just like, please fix this for others going forward. And it's been silence ever since. And so, you know, when you get your confirmation email, it has the B post tracking, and eventually you are able to see your DHL. So I called DHL and I was like, hey, here's what happened. And they were like, yeah, actually, your order isn't going anywhere because your address is incorrect. And so they fixed it in their system so that it could come to me. It still ended up being delayed. It was supposed to be delivered, so it shipped on Monday. It was supposed to be there by Wednesday. I didn't actually end up getting it until Friday. It's fine and good. It was fixed in the end, but I feel like I ended up having to make 2 phone calls actually, and I feel like I shouldn't have to do that. They should just fix their system. So if you are in the US and you notice that, know that you do not put the street, you put it all together in a box, and I guess asterisks if they don't fix it. Because the other thing is I could have put my address and then the number again afterwards, but I was like, but that's still not how an address works here in the United States. So yeah, just cautionary tale. Notes about my seasonal color system here. And then I just have various blanks, scratch notes here in the very back, pen tests. Ooh. Okay, I think that this is a health note, but it's to remind myself that if I'm low in estrogen, which I am because I'm in perimenopause, I need estrogen to fix stuff in my body. Let's see. All right, and then I don't need this. And this is going to also go in my health section. See, when I'm going to keep this in here because obviously I can't remember the name of this leather to save my life. I now need to take these Post-its and I think I'll just put this up here because we're no longer in May. I need to take these Post-its and move them onto a piece of paper that will make some sense. So I'm going to go ahead, stick this in here too, because I'd like to have this information all together. All right, so that wasn't a whole lot that I took out. Some dailies, some weeklies, and then a handful of Post-its and other inserts. But I can tell the difference, and it's lighter and it's less fluffy, and this is good. This is good for me. So I hope that you enjoyed this little planner clean out. I'd love to hear your favorite inserts from your favorite shops, and yeah, just give me some suggestions for different planner inserts that I can look for the remainder of this year and possibly going into next year. I hope this doesn't damage my leather, but I really would like to have my highlighter here. Fingers crossed. Okay, this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future content, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much as always for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye guys.